everyone, it's your boy Fang, back for another Hearts of Iron episode. And I have some very good news to report. I've been looking at the situation along our front, and I've decided to launch a couple of operations which will no doubt please all of you members of the Athenian Parliament, always eager to tell me what to do. No, I'm very appreciative of the solutions offered in the comment section, whether they be practicable or not. Anyway, I've been looking at the status of the Soviet forces along our front, and in addition, with the intelligence report I can get by looking at the details of their faction in the diplomacy tab, I can make several kind of important determinations about the status of the Soviet army. The Red Army, I ought to say. I can look down here at the individual units, and I think probably the most stark reality that I can discern from the status of the Soviet army along our front can be shown by looking at a typical armored division. In fact, let's be extremely generous. Let's pick, here we are, 253rd Mechanized Division. No, they don't have 253 mechanized divisions, but you know how it is, you name things. It is comprised of between 5 and 6 light tank battalions, between 3 and 5 motorized, and I can tell you right now it is in fact 5 battalions of light tanks and 4 battalions of motorized infantry. Now, I know, because I know the resource inputs, or rather the industrial equipment inputs that go into those kinds of battalions, that for a light tank battalion, the only main input you have for production is light tanks. For a motorized infantry division, it is infantry arms and motorized equipment, i.e. trucks. So, this unit is at approximately 50% strength. I can see that by looking at the strength tab at the bottom. Now, it has about 60% organization. That means it has attacked relatively recently. But if I look at all the other Soviet tank divisions along the frontier, I can see that's more or less true for all of them. And yet, they have rather disparate, amounts of strength in all of them. Now that indicates to me that you're facing, at least in some of them, a shortage of, well, the necessary war material. I can also tell, given how their organization is relatively high, that they have been out of combat for long enough to receive shipments of supplies. That's a rather good thing to know, because when I'm looking at their strength and seeing it diminished, that can be the result of missing equipment, or it can be the result of missing manpower. This is why it's important to be able to look at the details in the diplomacy tab, because I can see they have no shortage of manpower. They're still on extensive conscription, they haven't gone up to any of the egregious manpower laws, and they've still got manpower. So they got all the men they need to fill these divisions. What they do not have is equipment, and that is very good, because, I mean, look at the depleted status, say, of this one. They're at maybe 25% strength. They have a severe deficiency, in all likelihood, in tanks, and maybe even motorized equipment. We look at the infantry divisions along the front, and some of them are pretty depleted. In fact, specifically, the ones that seem to be the most depleted are the ones that are divisions of a updated template. Ones that involve like artillery, anti-tank, support equipment. The ones that are just the basic infantry divisions, like the 82nd, Motor Strelka means motorized rifle division, although there are no motorized there. I couldn't tell you why it is so called. That is a basic Soviet division, understood as it would be at the start of the game. It does not have any problems with equipment. We could look at these guys, and that's a changed Soviet division. It has artillery in it. It is having difficulties with supplies. Let's have a look at this guy. Yeah, same deal with them. All of these ones that are updated templates that require more than just infantry equipment, they're having trouble with supply. They're short, in all likelihood, not just of tanks and motorized vehicles, also of artillery and perhaps even support equipment. Now, the Soviet Union has a huge amount of factories relative to us. They got, like, in all likelihood, about 150. If they are short of equipment on a large front, indeed they're probably also short up here, that would indicate, well, obviously a deficiency in supply on the strategic level, and that means that whenever they're losing equipment, if I can entice them to do so, they're going to be considerably weaker than the numbers on the front line would indicate. The combat power of their divisions is going to be kind of sufficient, whether or not they have the men to man them. So the best strategy for me right now isn't even necessarily to eliminate divisions, because destroyed divisions don't eat up supply. It would be to entice them to attack me, and to have their divisions survive in direct combat, to be a drain on them further. Now, I won't get too involved with that, because it has its drawbacks, obviously. You want to eliminate divisions, just in a basic sense. Because the Soviet Union, if they're training up additional divisions, they take resources too. If they got a deficiency in guns, good luck creating new divisions, at least full-strength ones. So I've got a couple of operations in mind. We've got some troops moving to jump-off points. And I'm finally going to launch an operation up here in, I guess, the Ukraine. I'm also moving Lycos and Hermes up to the Ukrainian front, because they're not doing much good in the Black Sea anymore. Now that combat is over there for now. So I'm going to unpause and have them reach their muster points. Hopefully. Okay. Alrighty. We'll give those updated orders. You can fly over the Ukraine. It'll be a while before you're doing anything of any value. Interesting. That's just updating. The war that the Japanese have launched is for some reason known as the Chinese-American War. Couldn't tell you why. Oh, opportunity. Okay, we'll see if this works. The Soviet Union across the strait in Crimea has pulled out. In all likelihood, what that means is they're shuffling around divisions. It's probable they got men marching to reoccupy the position, but we'll see if we can get across. Oh good, Yugoslavia, Norway, Bulgaria, they're already in the war. Nobody cares. Let's see if they make it. Oh my god, they do. Now, it may look like I've stranded this poor boy on the other side of the strait. This is in fact a naval base. So that's fine. In fact, let's move up one more tile. Better defensible hills. Hopefully we'll get there. Belgium, Romania, Poland. Very good. Well, it's not worth looking at them because we got a battle to fight up here. Looks like they have severely diluted their forces. What is going on here? Is it perhaps tension along this front? Well, there's certainly not war along that front. Maybe they're pulling them back to the German front. We'll see. Not all that important. We've got these men in position. We're just going to wait for their supply to tick up. And here, looks like we've got all of our divisions in place. Okay. This one is hopefully going to be a pleasing one for all of you. I'm going to issue the orders for the attack. And you and you. Okay. Go. Should be a relatively simple fight across the river, despite the fact that... Oh, it's not even across the river. Excellent. Get off my screen. Cool, cool. This is not a problem. Alright, I've had enough. Non-aggression pact. Acceptable. Hey, we even got in. Now, you might think to yourself, why don't you advance and take Sevastopol? Man, like, it's one division. I'm not gonna risk this guy's survival in what is all likelihood a strategic redeployment around here. Alrighty, just about where I want it to be. Alrighty, kids, looks like you're through. Good lord. These messages. Okay. Looks like the 6 divisions we were attacking are continuing to fall back. Oh my god. Non-aggression pact with a Japanese puppet. That's fine. Okay, we've reached our new positions forward. They're redeploying. I'm happy to let them redeploy for now. Let's focus on the other operation. There we go. There's the strategic redeployment of forces. Okay. So, we've concentrated a bunch of infantry divisions primarily, a tank division and some cavalry too. And we're going to attempt to effect a breakout on this tile and swing south along the river and encircle these boys. Let's give that a try. Okay, you're gonna go forward. You're gonna go all the way down there. I would like you to go all the way there. And I believe I also have cavalry. Yeah, you're just gonna go forward one tile. The cavalry ain't what it used to be in comparison. I never upgraded those ones for various reasons. Mostly laziness. I'm just kidding, it was a lack of supply. I'm not so damned inconsiderate. Okay, that should do the trick. So this is a huge attack. Like, we've got 14 divisions going in. Hopefully Othon can manage this one. He is level 3. Italy wants to send us divisions. No. No, Italy, I will not. There we go. Took some losses. Modest losses doing it, but we're getting through. Okay. Okay, British Malaya, yes, very good. You'll notice actually down here that the one division we have on this hill tile is tying down 7 Soviet divisions. Sorry, 8. 8 Soviet divisions. It's very good. Now let's continue with this operation. I'm going to send Fang's misplays up. Yeah, we deployed you as a reserve for a reason. You're going to come along. Looks like the Soviet counterattack on sections of the line is not going anywhere. Good. I'm happy to have them attack like that. Now, we're going to cut that way. Very good. Received our counterattack. Perfect. Let's absorb the counterattack for a while. Let's check over here. See if Othon has managed to move forward. He has. And he's receiving his counterattack. Very good. He's beaten back the first. He's continuing. He's getting out-skilled by the Soviet generals. But that's okay, Othon. I trust you. You can get this done. More non-aggression pacts with Japanese puppet states. Very good. These guys are running out of strength right about now. The sooner they drop out of combat, the better. We've still got 11 divisions going forward with this one. They're receiving reinforcements, but I'm still happy with the status of that. Okay. Good. So, this attack was not going to be a simple encirclement. I dreamed a bit bigger, and I'm continuing to dream a bit bigger. I pushed forward, and then I've attempted to feint to the right to see if I could get the Soviet Union to, well, the Red Army, sorry, to deploy additional forces down to the east of where I was attacking, to extend the line that way, and it looks like I've succeeded somewhat. Instead of deploying just troops to this tile I was in, I cut one more tile in and have forced them to deploy along 4 sections of the front. What I'm now going to do is move back and attack west. Why am I going that way? We can just go that way. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. We've caught these guys moving, redeploying as well, which is good for us. That's, again, part of the plan. Because they're worried about our breakout, if we catch them redeploying to the east and swing west immediately, we stand a better chance of success because they're not dug in. Research slot. What did we just research? Concentrated industry. Lovely. I want better efficiency, but that... In fact, let's have a look at the qualitative advantage. 15% more production, just straight up. Out of factories, 10% out of dockyards. Excellent. Beautiful. That will help a lot. More Soviet counterattacks. You can counterattack these guys all you want. They're pulling out. And they're doing just a completely fine job of it. Counterattacking there, again, fine. Now we get to reveal our hand. We're going to encircle this very large amount of divisions, if we can. So you're going to race ahead to the tune of 3, you're going to race ahead to the tune of 1. I guess we cannot race ahead with all of them, that's fine. Yeah, and now I get to concentrate my troops for attacking down this side. And we do have the men to do it. Yeah, we absolutely have the men to do it. Anybody else over here not needed? Yeah, I would say so. Bob Ross. Oh, it's been a while, hasn't it, my friend? Looks like they have counterattacked in Crimea and forced us back. That's okay. 8 divisions against 1, I forgive them. They're dug in on our side of the Crimean, I suppose, Straits. That's fine. Looks like Othon has taken the next section. He's leaving troops behind to hold open the gap. It's Othon and Sotiris. Both of their army groups are in this. Looks like we've almost got the encirclement. Almost. But it's going to be a little sketchy. We're fighting a lot of Soviet troops here. Another non-aggression pact. There we go. Now these counterattacks are going to have a little bit more trouble. Very good. Now who's staying? 3 infantry divisions. Good. We're in good shape. They're attacking all along the line. Still okay. Have we got our troops concentrated? Just about. We'll wait. No, we'll wait for that counterattack to be finished. Good. Now we get to affect the link-up, don't we? The exception of you. You get to stay there. Cat Refractoi is going to move up. Beautiful. Truly beautiful. We're going to march up and relieve that Mountaineer division. Looks like they could use some help. We're also going to, please, if you would stop attacking for half a second. We're going to release some pressure on the line by counter-attacking down here. Okay. Very good. Wait for that attack to end. Ah, man. The tempo of their attacks is so great that we're having trouble keeping up with it. Like, I can't give attack orders while our units are already under attack. Oh, and by the way, you know, kettle's closed. So we're having some problems. Nothing too severe, I would say. Now they're extremely scared, as you can probably tell by the tempo of their counterattacks. They're not well pleased about this encirclement, and it looks like we have 20 in the pot. If I zoom out, that's what it appears to say. Alright, these guys are all in position. They're going to begin withdrawing through the port. I don't want to send the Black Sea force out to interdict them. Actually, yes I do. Your fire at will, go there. 4 divisions here. We need nowhere near 4 divisions for holding that. We're going to send the entire force to attack Odessa. I don't hold a lot of hope for their success here. It's a pinning attack. Please. There we go. Alright, you can join the attack as soon as you reach. Okay. Now we got them pinned in there. 12 divisions. You can come south too. 12 divisions in this kettle. There's also 3 up here, which we're going to help close. How about back here? We still got a roughly stable situation? Kinda. I'm going to send you along the line. Yeah, you guys could use some help. In the meantime, we might as bloody well start closing this. Rob them of the opportunity to do it. Where are we at? Yeah, you can advance. And because you're advancing, you can advance. We've got our troops that will arrive relatively soon, I take it. Relatively, I would expect within a day. I think we're good. Yeah, we'll send you forward. We're trying to keep them off of us. Oh no. No, don't fold. Don't you fold. Damn it, they folded. Okay. That's our first kind of problem. I'm gonna send you forward and back. You guys, we're gonna send you over here. More non-aggression pacts. I did not know Japan had so many little baby countries. You, forward. 2, 1, we're gonna arrive first. Perfect. Okay, kettle is still closed. Alright, you jokers. Now you're in some real bloody trouble. We're gonna go south here. We're just gonna close this kettle. Tile by tile. Up here in Odessa. Looks like we got him. Yeah. So that was a total of 15 divisions between the 2 small kettles destroyed. Captured Odessa. We're pushing forward, or at least the Germans are. They're bombing our fleet, and our fleet, now so bombed, can return to Istanbul. How's Lycos and Hermes doing? It's a bad air zone. Oh, wow. Okay. Now the fighter losses are starting to tick up. For a while we had, like, large allied air support there. And by allied I mean our allies, not the allies' allies. You sadden me. We're gonna pull them back. We don't really need to be losing aircraft right now. And I do mean need. Like, there's no need for it. It's all looking good here. Soviet counterattacks down in the south. They didn't go anywhere. Bombing our boats again. Doing nothing. Alright. Let's concentrate again. You think I'm done? You'd be right. Just kidding. There's absolutely no way it ends there. Oh wow, look at this. Look at how determined they are. And I don't blame them. Not one bit. I'm gonna do the old march and counter march. I mean, this guy is being attacked by 9 divisions. That's a harsh reality to live with. Alrighty. You can go forward, and you can go forward, and you can go forward. The sooner we get this kettle closed, the sooner we can go back to more reasonable activities. Man, they're chewing through him pretty quick. We're going to need to be reinforced, aren't we? Yeah, they're going to get him. That's a real pity. But there's a way around this. We force them back a tile here, it doesn't matter if they move forward a tile. They're chasing our boys and we're chasing theirs. They're trying to attack across the strait. Not happening. Good, good. We pushed them back. Okay. It matters not. It matters not. Cool, and they didn't actually even get there anyway. No, 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 don't bother moving. You're fine. Alright, now we just roll them up. Send you to the Crimean front, such as it is. We just about got them. We're getting mild supply issues along the front. Mild, mind you. And this counterattack, I mean, they're really throwing everything they can into it, and they are repeatedly pushing us back. Slightly. But they're too late. Okay, but stop the attack, though. There we go. And they're all getting overrun right about now. Cool, cool. Now you guys go forward. They got the last 19 divisions in that little hole. And they're surrendering fast. See ya. Alrighty. Now that's what I'm talking about. Can't remember how many divisions that was. It was about 25, roughly. In addition, with the 12 destroyed down here, it's looking good. That's a big victory for us. And we need big victories because they are pushing hard just about everywhere. And Italy and Germany, they're facing manpower shortages. They'll deal with that, but it'll be slow. We're relieving some pressure. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I know how I want to handle this. Okay. You guys, come up here. We're gonna push across and capture Rostov on the northern bank of what I believe is the Don River. Yeah, that's the Don, I believe. Okay, we're gonna mass for a counterattack here. I would like to take that tile, shorten the line a wee bit. No worries down here still. We'll wait for organization to tick back up. Looks like the Russian battleship is sheltering in Rostov too. We're not going to destroy it, but we are going to push it out of the port. It's going to have to evacuate. So we're going in across the river, Marcos again. I would use the makeshift bridge as command power, but it's not going to be necessary. He's basically beaten them already. Ooh, carrier 2. Very good. Very good. We're not immediately going to research carrier 3, although it would be understandable to do so. Yeah, we're going to research carrier fighter. We need it. We do need it. And outdated production. That's going to disappear in approximately a second. I'm not too worried. And that's fine, because we're going to queue up the next ship. One of them to the Black Sea Force. It's going to be our second carrier, even bigger and better than the first. And whereas the first one we toggled the air wing to be primarily fighters and a squadron of naval bombers, this one is going to be our first carrier with a reasonable strike wing. So we're going to go down to, oh, I don't know, 24 fighters, and then the rest are going to be naval bombers. Nice. Nice, nice. Alrighty. That's what I like to see. Back to the front. Just about ready to launch our counterattack. I'm waiting for the tanks to be resupplied. Looks like we're going to be in Rostov in just a moment. Very good. Very good. And they're counterattacking, going nowhere. There's our first naval bombers, but we need to research carrier naval bombers to deploy them. We're finally getting around to that. And it feels good. Alrighty. So, down here, we encircled and destroyed those 12 divisions. The next objective I don't think is going to be an encirclement objective. I think the next objective is going to be the Crimea. Oh, what am I talking about? You can't just not encircle. Encirclement is life. We're gonna go for a short encirclement, I think. Cross the... no. Please. That is a... oh! That's not fordable. That's an inlet. Well, that looks kind of silly. For my part, just massing people where there is no front. That explains why the Germans weren't concerned about it. I'm gonna cross the strait again if they'll let me. 2 divisions this time. We're across at Rostov, as mentioned. We're gonna leave a relatively strong garrison in Rostov. Yeah, we are. We're gonna move back. We're also gonna attack slightly forward. I want to improve the situation where our line is. Buy ourselves some space. So we're going to send him forward, and when he arrives, the tanks can move back. They're going to be used elsewhere. And it's Cat Refractoi. Now that we have the political power, I'm going to end the episode talking about one last thing, and that is our manpower situation. It's not great. It's quite not great. We've been fairly frugal with our manpower, and by that I mean, you know, we haven't been getting our men killed egregiously. But it's not just about replacing combat casualties. And, you know, I'm also somewhat worried about that. We're, on average, losing more than 1.3 thousand casualties a month. And obviously the wounded, at least some of them, are making their way back to divisions as they get healed. But we're also expanding the fleet and the Air Force, and that requires manpower. So we're going to need more men, and that means we have to go above the manpower laws that I like to take. I'm happy with extensive conscription in virtually all the games I play. It gives me enough manpower to do what I want, but I'm usually playing major countries, so you got the manpower. All of the manpower in the army, or almost all of it, for this empire we built, is coming out of Greece and Constantinople. For the most part, the what are now foreigners within our borders, who will become Byzantines when we take the decision, there's some volunteers coming out of them, but we're not conscripting them. So we're going to have to go up to service by requirement. And that sucks, because, as you can see, it's giving us a malus to factory dockyard construction. Now, the malus that it's giving us is kind of equivalent to, like, that one production tech we got earlier in the episode. And increased training time, we don't really care. That's a very soft stat. And we're going to go from 5% recruitable population to 10. Now, you know, functionally we're already at 12 because we have, you know, militarism, military youth, all that sort of stuff. It's going to be a vast increase in manpower that's going to tick up. But I mean, this is the first levée en masse in, the Napoleonic era. It is the state able to call up adult men to service by requirement. We're not looking at, late war German manpower call-ups of the historic Second World War or anything like that. But it is the first non-regular calling up of men for military service. And it hurts me to do it. We're raising the furred in Anglo-Saxon tradition, so there we go. And I hate to do it. We are going to get a modest hit to our production efficiency and all of that. But that's the way it's got to be, I guess. So I have decreed. So we're going to do that, and hopefully we're going to tick up. And our manpower will increase. Rostov. It's in good hands. They're going to start digging in. They'll be fine. And I won't plan our next offensive in this episode. I will do it later. I'm just having a look around to see if there's anything I want to talk about first. I'll move you up to the hills. Let's have a look at our generals. So Tyrus. He's got a lot of potential skills he could get into. He's obviously leveled up, I can tell that. See if we can find any battles he's participating in. No. Let's look at his card. He's level 4. Very good. All that experience has done him well. We've obviously got Odysseus. He's not seen combat for a good amount of time. He's still down there in the south as a reserve to the silly Axis armies in Syria. Marcos, oh, what a hero. What can you say about Marcos? Othon, well, you tried. He's around. He'll get better, I'm sure. Oh, the Soviets have launched a cruiser, and they're intercepting a German fleet. Of transports, that is. I think that we are going to have to intercept that. But we can watch that in the next episode. The last thing I'm going to do... No. This was the Dramon class. You're the Dramon. Of course, if anyone wants to name any ships in future episodes, feel free to do so. There's going to be some new and juicy capital ships coming out. Catch you in the next one.